night, a dynamite game between Angel Reese, Kim Mulkey, and the gals of LSU taking on, well, the gals of Iowa. And man, oh man, third quarter, Caitlin Clark put it on everybody. I mean, I felt like she was drilling threes on my old head as I sat there and watched and cheered. I was actually cheering both ways because I've become a Kim Mulkey fan. Let me get one thing out of the way. Even my mother chimed in on LSU leaving the court for the national anthem. I'm not mad about it. I'm not. I mean, maybe the game has changed. Kim Mulkey said after they have a routine. I had a routine as a coach, and if the national anthem was played at a certain time, we didn't stay on the court. And if that makes me bad, then I'm bad. But I'm not mad about that, and I wanted to clear that up for dear old mama who sent me a text this morning about it. I get it. I hate it. It just drove me nuts standing through the national anthem because I wanted the game to go. Even as an announcer, the anthem would play, and I loved when bands played because bands played it fast. But let me get to the game. The game itself was dominated by Caitlin Clark. First quarter was unbelievable. Literally, neither team decided to play defense. Long story short, Caitlin Clark with 41 started making threes. Next thing you know, they won the game. But the real story was after. The real story came after the game. Are women prepared to handle the fame? Are young women and young men prepared to go about the business of handling and making the right decisions and then handling the consequences of those decisions? Case in point, here's Angel Reese, the star of LSU, post-game after a disappointing loss.
I don't really get to stand up for myself. I mean, I have great teammates. I have a great support system. I got my hometown. I got my family that stands up for me. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and, like, not be there for them. So I just want to always just know, like, I'm still a human. Like, all this has happened since I won the national championship, and I said the other day I haven't had peace since then. And it sucks, but I still wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything, and I would still sit here and say, like, I'm unapologetically me. I'm going to always leave that mark and be who I am and stand on that. And hopefully the little girls that look up to me, and hopefully I give them some type of inspiration that, hopefully it's not this hard and all the things that come at you, but keep being who you are. Keep waking up every day. Keep being motivated, staying who you are, staying 10 toes, don't back down, and just be confident.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, here's the deal. It's not great, and we should expect young athletes to not handle disappointment. I mean, we should. We should expect that now. When you're given everything all the time, we should expect you not to be handle disappointment. We always now teach kids it's someone else's fault. I mean, and if you listen to Angel Reese, it's a victim thing. It's someone else's fault. Nobody put a gun to her head to go dress naked, to go dress half naked. Nobody put a gun to her head to take that out. This is all from my wife, Lee Ross, who is a beautiful woman who guys would come to games to watch her in high school, college, and even coach. And she said a very interesting thing. Angel Reese had a choice. Angel Reese had a choice to conduct herself, to carry herself like a hoop superstar. Instead, she chose to take her clothes off. No one's blaming her. But when you do that, you can't, as my wife said, take it personally. You're selling a commodity, your body, and that's difficult for young women. It's difficult for young women because, well, you get the money, you get the fame, but you also got a lot of people coming at you. You chose to do that. You could have carried yourself like a guy like Michael Jordan, like royalty, like a real hoop superstar. Instead, Sports Illustrated, videos of your ass, dressing half naked. Well, there's stuff that comes with that. There's a lot that comes with that. And for young women, I have a daughter. I have a stepdaughter. I have a wife. I have a mother. I've talked to these people. about this. That becomes incredibly difficult when things don't go right. And it's no surprise that Angel Reese can't handle it. Hell, she shouldn't be able to handle it. Now, I didn't see Caitlin Clark going around half naked. I saw Caitlin Clark conduct herself, well, like a young superstar woman. That's what I saw. Now, not everybody's the same, but when you make that deal to sell your body, which is an incredible personal statement, and I understand I'm the easiest guy to criticize. You're an old head. Maybe, but boy, oh boy, being an old head gives me some knowledge, gives me some wisdom. In the real world, it just doesn't go one way. You can't have it both ways. You can't have all of a sudden, I'm going to sell my body and everything is roses and sunshine. When you make that decision and you put yourself out there for money, believe me, every woman knows, unless you're a supermodel, unless that's the business that you're in, man, oh man, there's hell to pay. And by the way, the other thing is this, and we all knew this was just ridiculous. Remember a year ago, Angel Reese was thug, ghetto. I'm ghetto. Well, if you're ghetto, why do you care so much what people think? If you're ghetto, why? If you're the queen, why are you taking your clothes off? I didn't see anybody take their clothes off. I don't see a queen taking their clothes off. And when you do that, when you accept all that comes with it, guess what? There's going to be another side. And if you didn't know it, then it's the fault of those around you for not telling you, not warning you, not stopping you. Angel Reese could have been, man, the real queen. I mean, she took down the Great White Hope last year and did it with style and panache and anger. But then she chose to go into a world for money that isn't very fun. I tell my kids all the time, the real world ain't great. The real world, particularly the real world where you are a visible person and people are coming at you all the time, it ain't great. You better not take it personal. My son's a basketball. You better not take it personal. People ask me all the time, how do you handle it? I don't take it personal. I don't give a damn what someone says. The entire meltdown of the LSU team, because there was more, is a cautionary tale to women's basketball. Can you handle the success that comes and then the inevitable failure, the inevitable criticism? If you're going to put yourself in this world, if you put yourself in the world like Caitlin Clark and her teammates did of their college experience, do your commercials, make your money, but don't sell yourself, it's a different deal. But once you put it half naked for all the world to see, taking money, it's a and this isn't me. This comes from my wife, who understands this world better than anybody could possibly. Hell, we had a football player from the Colts say, man, you were my MILF coach. You were my coach crush. She dealt with it her whole life. Man, if you're going to be a queen, act like a queen. Hope that's a lesson to Angel Reese. Hope when she goes to the WNBA, I hope she's a great player. But carry yourself like a great player. I see Michael Jordan taking his clothes off. Women are different. We all know this. No one's clamoring to see some dude in a bikini or some dude in a Speedo doing a photo shoot. Women are different. These things are offered to them. And when you take them, there's a whole nother level. You sell your body for a spread in Sports Illustrated or an Instagram, whatever that is. Man, oh man, there's a lot that comes with it. And you can criticize me all you want, and I'm sure some will for this statement, but if you're criticizing me, you just don't know. You don't. And of course, we teach people to always blame somebody else. Always. I didn't mind what Angel Reese said. I got no problem with Angel Reese said. In fact, I was going to retweet an article from OutKick, and I thought, no, I'm not doing it. I can talk on it. Conduct yourself like a hoop superstar, and you won't have these problems. Don't sell your body. Caitlin Clark, by the way, absolutely silenced everybody yesterday. The woke media was all on her. I hate to even mention this complete jackass, Jemele Hill and others were all in her business. It's white privilege. She hits these threes. Man, I don't give a damn if it's white, black, or green privilege. That's a bad lady right there. We used to call people like that something else, but I'm not going to say it publicly. Here's Jemele Hill. She blames the media for covering Caitlin Clark more than double their rate because she isn't black. Well, maybe so. I don't know what to tell you. All I did was watch the game last night, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm covering her whether she's black, white, green, or purple. She's tremendous on television. What a missed opportunity for the national media to really evaluate who she was as a person. Why? Why does a fat-ass media person need to know who Caitlin Clark is as a person? Why does a fat-ass lady that couldn't make it anywhere need the national media to know who she is as a person? See, it is the white, angry guy that needs to write the piece, the hit piece. Caitlin seems to be a great personality, but it's not like Caitlin Clark is walking around saying crazy stuff. They're just covering her excellence, and that's good enough. Whereas it feels like our black athletes get the same amount of coverage, whereas for black athletes to get the same amount of coverage or even fair coverage, there has to be something extra beyond basketball. No. You choose to do that. You choose to do that. You choose to take your clothes off. Caitlin Clark didn't. You choose to be ghetto. Caitlin Clark took it. She sat in it, as Matt Painter would say. When all this was going on, when all that was going, Caitlin Clark sat in it for a year. And don't think for a second Caitlin Clark didn't think about it. Now, there doesn't have to be extra things going on. Just act like people. Just act like you are the queen of basketball, the king of basketball, baseball, whatever. Conduct yourself like Jeter, and all those things will come to you. By the way, Jeter's black. Conduct yourself like Jordan, and all those things will come to you. By the way, Jordan's black. Barkley, Shaq, and all those things will come to you. You don't need anything extra. You just need to conduct yourself in a way. You have a choice. Am I going to walk around as a sports icon superstar, or am I going to sell my ass to Sports Illustrated and Instagram? Nobody puts a gun to your head. The money's good, but there's a lot that comes with it. And there is no chance, zero shot, that Jemele Hill could figure that out. Because the easiest thing to do is say black, white. One conducted herself where she got half naked, which opens up an entire world, and women know it, according to my wife, a woman. And the other one conducted herself like the queen of basketball, like an NBA superstar, like a college superstar. And that's a big difference. One is damn good, and the other is damn good. But one has a game that makes you go, huh, and the other is just damn good. Angel Reese is damn good. But Caitlin Clark's game, I don't know. It's like Steph Curry, who, by the way, is black. That game makes us, you know that song, Things That Make You Go, That makes you go, big time, Rob Parker's an idiot. That's all I have to say about it. He's always been an idiot. He's really stupid. He got fired at ESPN because he's a dumbass, and now he's at Fox where he continues to be a dumbass. This is what Rob Parker had to say about Caitlin Clark and the NBA.
I am convinced that Caitlin Clark should play for an NBA team, Chris, not a WNBA team. And I want to say this before you poo-poo me or before you tell me I'm a sugar, I'm crazy.
You beyond a sugar.
Okay?
She ain't good enough.
Hold on.
She ain't good enough.
Hold on. Let me say this.
Period.
This ain't no stunt like Edey Goodell.
It must be, because you should know. You've covered the NBA. She good enough to play in the NBA?
Yes, she is. And I'm going to tell you why.
Embarrassing.
This is not Edey Goodell with the White Sox, Chris. Remember they had the small person who gave up the bat and they tried to get him to walk every at-bat? This is not that.
Well, of course
this is not a sideshow. This is not the bearded lady at the circus. This is not what it could be. The NBA right now is so soft as far as physical play. They allow almost anyone to just take three-point shots. And I really do that she could put up threes in this man's NBA. This is not 2004. This is not the 90s, Chris. This is an NBA where the three ball is open. It's open to be had. And if you have players and you set her up somewhere,
why isn't Jimmer Fredette in the NBA?
Because he can't play. He's not the all-time
better
leading
than
scorer.
Caitlin Clark.
He's not the all-time leading scorer. We just saw Steph Curry. We just saw Steph Curry go up against a female in a three-point shooting contest, right?
It's not about skills.
Chris,
it's about athleticism. It's about size. It's about strength. This is embarrassing for you.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it's two dumbest people you're going to. Broussard's a good dude, but Rob Parker's an idiot. I have nothing to say about that. Good for him and his fake New York accent. Good for him. Kim Mulkey and LSU were the subject of a LA Times article that was incredibly sexist, and it was so sexist that the writer actually apologized. Honest to God. The writer actually apologized. Now, you got to understand something. We all know that the angry white man, Dan Wolken of USA Today, Greg Doyle of the Indy Star, the angry, never played, never coached white man is always going to write something because they're just sitting around pissed. They're pissed. Hey, I'm pissed. All right. Be pissed. Yeah. We're mad. Yay, Rob. Go fight, win. We're mad, so we're going to bring someone else down because we don't want anybody being bigger than us. We want to bring people down. And that's the angry white man. So the angry white man writes an article in the LA Times. He calls the women of LSU dirty debutantes, among others. Now, I ain't mad about it. You do you, angry white man. I get it. If that's who you think you are, then go get them. Imagine sitting there. I said this yesterday. Imagine sitting there. I'm at my house. Man, I hate Kim Mulkey. She's successful. I'm a little punk. In my basement with my cats, if you're Greg Doyle. With my tits and my pizza stain, if you're Dan Wolken. I got to bring her down. I'm mad. This will be a great story. I'll make my name. Oh, okay. Well, you go make your name. Apparently, dirty debutante is porn. So the writer of this, the guy who decided this was such a good idea, he won't get fired. I mean, if he wrote it, and he should get fired. He should get fired today. To this moment. It did not meet the Times editorial standards. Really? Oh, okay. I'm surprised by that. The Times has editorial standards. Here's what you got to understand. I got suspended one time, and they said I did not meet Emmis's journalistic standards. Well, the truth of the matter is we just made that up. We did. You got to put something out. They're like, hey, Dan, we're going to suspend you with pay. And you know what? What do you want to say? I go with the journalistic standards. What do I care? I'm an entertainer. But the amazing thing is this. The amazing thing is these dudes, they sit around, they get mad, and now we got to bring Kim Mulkey down. I think she's mean to her team. Well, here's what Mulkey had to say.
You can criticize coaches all you want. That's our business. You can come at us and say you're the worst coach in America. I hate you. I hate everything about you. We expect that. It comes with the territory. But the one thing I'm not going to let you do, I'm not going to let you attack young people. And there were some things in this commentary, guys, that you should be offended by as women. It was so sexist, and they don't even know it. It was good versus evil in that game today. Evil? Called us dirty debutantes? Take your phone out right now and Google dirty debutantes and tell me what it says. Dirty debutantes? Are you kidding me? I'm not going to let you talk about 18 to 21-year-old kids in that tone. It was even sexist for this reporter to say UCLA was milk and cookies. Now, you women sit there and you keep your mouth shut if you want. I'm in the last third of my career, but I'm not going to let sexism continue.
Yeah, good for her, man. I mean, and we have an idiot here, Stephen Holder, that said you're not supposed to respond to the article. You're supposed to help the writer. Are you insane? We all know that these writers are just little sorry-ass punks. We know that Ben Balch of the L.A. Times, the human pizza stain here, Dan Wolken, just god-awful people. I mean, horrendous. Never did nothing. Greg Doyle and his cats in his purse. They're just ridiculous people. So you sit around and you try to figure out good versus evil in a basketball game? Really? Huh. That's interesting. Good versus evil? Dirty Debutantes, which is porn by a bunch of women that are about a bunch of women that get up every day and bust their ass to play basketball, to go to school. By all accounts, I don't know that these people that play basketball for LSU are bad, have done anything wrong. That's what we're doing. But that's the deal. I mean, just look at him. We should put next to Ben Balch, fat, bearded. No, I don't think he was fat, bearded. The other guy was fat, bearded. Doyle. I'm Greg Doyle. Hi, you're married. You got young kids. I'm here. I mean, just a freaking ridiculous human being. And I know them. And they're the worst. It's always the angry white guy. And good for Kim Mulkey. Good for Kim Mulkey for standing up. Good for Kim Mulkey to calling it out. The LA Times and Ben Balch had to put out a retraction. I'm really sorry. Really? No, you're not. You're sorry you got caught. You lost your damn mind. That's what they all do. You're hoping you can win an award. See, in Indy, our writers win awards when they write about me. I get that. Basketball players with the Indiana basketball get some clout when they write about me on Twitter. I get that. We all get that. And that's what this guy thought he was doing. This guy thought he was being clever about Kim Mulkey. He wasn't clever. He was sexist and just a typical white dude that's angry, that has never played. No women except married ones in Doyle's case have ever paid it. Sad married ones, the most vulnerable of the married ones, have ever paid attention. And it's just who these people are. It's always the same dudes. And good for Kim Mulkey for standing up. This story is weird, and I don't know what to do with it. I know we're supposed to believe every victim according to you, not according to my sister, a 25-year domestic violence prosecutor. We're not supposed to believe every woman according to people that know, like my sister, but you all tell me, we're supposed to believe every woman. Remember Vince McMahon? Vince McMahon was accused by Janelle Grant of all these heinous sexual assault things, basically selling her out. Well, she apparently wrote love letters to Vince McMahon after the alleged sexual scandal. A woman who alleges she was sexually abused for years by Vince McMahon wrote a gushing love letter to the former CEO in which she declared the duo was in love with a capital L. And she now claims McMahon coerced her to do it. The love-struck letter stands in contrast to the allegations in her explosive lawsuit filed in Connecticut court in January, which claimed McMahon allegedly defecated on Grant's head during a threesome. Some 18 months before she wrote the alleged love letter. Hey, man, it just got weirder because I'm not going to lie. I didn't read the part about defecating on the woman's head. So I always try to get a visual of things. So Vince, this lady, and some other, I assume lady, they're in there, they're getting down. I've never been in a threesome, but I was willing to try back before I got married. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, I guess I just take a dump on someone's head. Now, I got to tell you, I don't know about you, but that would ruin the mood for me pretty quick. Hey, honey, we're going to get weird tonight. All right. I got the whips, the chains, the bondage. I got the oils, the creams. Oh, no. We're going to take a dump on your head. What? I'm telling you, man, Lee Ross's dad always, apparently, I never met the guy, but the great Don Ross said, more money, more problems. I got to tell you, I don't have a lot of money, but I don't have those kind of problems either, where someone's saying that I took a dump on someone's head. I just want you to sit back, close your eyes, and envision that. We're all naked. We're all doing whatever threesomes do, and all of a sudden Vince stands up, big old Vince squats, takes a dump. That might be the grossest sex thing I've ever heard. Now, I did not watch Two Girls in a Cup. I refuse to. I will not, because it's so gross. But long story short, that might be, and I've never been to the Mule Show down in Juarez, Mexico, the Bride and the Burro. Now, I've never been to that either. But that's got to be the grossest thing ever. Ever. Vince, baby, you should go to jail. You know what? You should go to jail just for that. That's it. Apparently, this guy's a star. There's a baseball player named Jazz Chisholm. I don't know who the hell he is. He's mad at his own team because they opened the roof. He claims we couldn't see. Normally play Ironside amid 4-game losing streak to start the season. Oh, we usually play inside. My bad. I don't know who this clown is, but I'll tell you what, man, baseball's got a patch of idiots that I'm kind of digging. So Jazzy Jeff here says, we couldn't see, that's all. I feel like the shadows we're not used to playing defense in shadows. We normally play inside every day. So we get a shadow for 3 or 4 games at home for the first time this season. It's kind of hard to adjust to. You know, we're used to the roof being closed and being able to see every at bat. It's kind of tough when it's black out there and you're facing a guy throwing 101. Well, then the other team faced the same thing. Look at this idiot. Okay, you got your gold chains. Yay, Rock, go fight, win. Why do we listen to idiots? I'm done with idiots. I like Zach Edey, though. I do. I like Zach Edey. Zach Edey, to me, is tougher and tough. He is. Now, I'm tired of his mother. I've had enough of his mother. And I got to tell you, if somebody would have asked me to come down and speak at my son's senior night, I'd have said no. But this woman apparently thinks she's something. I've had all of Zach Edey's mom that I can. And if that makes me a bad guy, I own it. Parents should sit there, shut the hell up. Parents don't need to wear their kids' jerseys. I was a parent of a Big Ten player. My son played about 25 minutes a game at Ohio State. I did not wear a jersey. I remember hey, you going to get Andrew's jersey? No. I don't need a bedazzled. I'm Andrew's daddy. The football team at Indiana has always sucked. And one of the reasons is the parents were mad. Because the coach took the names off the back of the jerseys. We can't tell who our player is. They're representing our family. Oh, shut up. Just shut up, parents. Every one of you, shut up. Do this. Do whatever Clark's mom does. And by the way, Clark's mom. Anyway, shut up, parents. I've had enough of you. Ziegler, the point guard for Tennessee, honest to God, he gets his toughness from his mom. Not that he's not very tough. I got my toughness from 3 dudes that played at San Francisco, a couple in the NBA. Wallace Bryant, John Hegwood, Thad Gardner played at Michigan. I got my ass kicked as a little scrawny white kid. By these dudes older. That's how you get your toughness, not from your mom. Indiana actually had a player named C.J. Gunn whose dad thought it was a good idea. He got his toughness from his sister. Jesus. The world is insane. I've had enough of Zach Edey's mom, and I'm starting, I hate to, but I'm starting to have enough of Zach Edey. Zach Edey in a press conference, and he's probably right. He called out a bunch of coaches, including Rick Barnes. Let's hear.
I get to pay him back. Like there were so many coaches that looked over me. Like you could name a program, I can name a coach that looked over me. The Tennessee, Rick Barnes is a great coach, but he was in a bunch of our practice, looked over me. Like it's kind of been the story of my life. People have doubted me, people look past me, and can't do that anymore.
But you ain't lying there, brother. Now, in Rick Barnes' defense, apparently Zach Edey went to IMG, which is a massive academy, and he played on the B team. Apparently, he was this gumpy, dorky guy. Matt Painter saw something in him. Brandon Brantley got working with him, and next thing you know, he's the best player, most dominant player I've seen in college basketball. And I got to tell you something else. I like this. I do. I like this kind of thing. See, Michael Jordan isn't the only one that played or lives his life with a chip on his shoulder. He's not. I mean, you all glorify Michael Jordan. Oh, he got a chip. Did you see his Hall of Fame speech? Sure, I saw his Hall of Fame speech. I thought he was a complete idiot. But you know what? Nobody's going to say that because Michael Jordan's Michael Jordan. And we all jump up and down, stand on our head and shit snowballs because Michael Jordan said something. Well, I got to tell you, I like what Zach Edey said. We all, in certain ways, at least I do, in certain ways, live our life with chips on our shoulder. We do. Everybody kind of does. So good for Zach Edey, and I'll tell you something else. It's a much more interesting chip on your shoulder when you're as good as him, when you're as tough as him, when you go to battle every day like him. No, it's true. I mean, if you're just some guy talking, you know the fat guy? Well, I got a chip on my shoulder. Yeah, no, you got a chip on your shirt. You know what I mean? No, but Zach Edey lives it. Zach Edey's tough. Zach Edey gets out there and he bangs and he battles and he gets after it, and I'm all in on Zach Edey. I am. He's the most dominant big guy that I've seen in college. I got a lot of idiots. Apparently, on Twitter, you can't read. Apparently, Twitter, there's something on there that forces people not to be able to read because I got people saying, well, Russell was better, Alcindor. I'm like, maybe so, but I didn't see him. I'm not 108 years old. I understand I got the head of a 22-year-old, the body of a 90-year-old, which makes me 61. But the fact of the matter is, Zach Edey's the most dominant big I have seen. I mean, what the hell? He just dropped 40 and whatever, 16. He had 21 in the first half in the round of 32, 31 and 21 in the opening game, and that's just what he does. So hopefully for other teams, not for Purdue, but if you're another team, hopefully you can hold the guy down. Ohio State did, they beat him. Nebraska did, they beat him. If you can hold him down a bit, you got a chance to beat him. Other than that, probably going to get your ass kicked. Yep, you probably are. And Zach Edey's probably going to tell you about it. And here's the other deal. I don't think last year when Zach Edey was the player of the year, and this is a lesson to women out there, I don't think Zach Edey, I don't think he took his clothes off. I don't think he ran around and did photo shoots half naked, showing his ass like Angel Reese did. When you do that, you open yourself up to a lot of different stuff. Not saying you shouldn't do it. Not saying I wouldn't do it. Take the money. I get it. But when you do, Angel Reese, you open yourself up to a lot of stuff. You always have the opportunity to conduct yourself, to absolutely conduct yourself like a freaking superstar. Zach Edey has. Angel Reese didn't. You're seeing what happens. Danny Hurley has a statement on Zach Edey. If Zach Edey is not like a lottery pick and a tremendous player, then there's something wrong with the NBA. Good for Danny Hurley to get up front of that. And he's right. There is something wrong with the NBA. You ever watch it? You can't tell if it's a girl's game or a boy's game. These dudes are so freaking ridiculous with the hair. I bet you I've watched 10 minutes all year. I used to get excited for the playoffs, but no. Hey, you know what? This is how I would be as a professor. I actually taught coaching a basketball about 5 different times over 2 different periods. I taught it for Bob Knight. He had a class. I was the guy, his AI, whatever you wanted to call it, and he would never show, so I did. We made it fun. We had a blast. Then I did it for Calvin Sampson, same thing. But if I was a professor, and I learned this from my father, I've talked about. He is a principal at Calumet High School in Gary, Indiana. Winning a sectional in high school basketball in Indiana is a big deal. It means you've beaten everybody in your area. Well, when Calumet High School won the sectional, my dad got on the mic and declared Monday was off. School was an off day. You did not have to go to school on Monday. Can you imagine all you fat-ass white women and how pissed off you would be? You'd go nuts. Well, the North Carolina professor, he did it, man. Duke got downed by North Carolina State to win and go to the Final Four. He agreed to postpone an exam to allow his drunk students to fully revel in their glory. Yo, Dr. Bryant, I'm lit AFRN. That means I'm lit as right now. And I hope you are too, because the Final Four appearance is a lot to celebrate. How about we move the test to Tuesday or Wednesday? James, this is possibly my favorite email of the year. You've convinced me. Now, this professor isn't one of those dopey professors that I got into a back and forth with. This looks like a legitimate associate professor, engineering. And good for the student. Man, what a world we live in. Hey, yo, Prof, I'm hammered right now. Move that thing. We're all celebrating. Hell, the game was on Sunday. It's like the Super Bowl. Due to an overwhelming number of requests and very well-stated arguments from your classmate, I've decided that Wednesday is a more suitable day for exam number 2. Therefore, we will delay exam 2 until Wednesday. Thanks, and go pack Dr. B. That's awesome. See, that's somebody that understands. That's somebody that understands the college experience. Seriously. I mean, what are you supposed to – oh, man, we can't go celebrate? See, at Indiana, and I'm sure at your school, there was a ritual. Now, it hasn't happened at IU in a long time, but when Indiana basketball has a big win, and I assume football too, although there's never been one, everybody runs to the fountain, Showalter Fountain in the middle of campus. I don't know why. They just do. National champion, when we beat Carolina, going to the Final Four. Everybody runs to the fountain. Everybody runs. People carrying their Busch Light cans. Everybody goes to the fountain, jumps around. Cops let it go, too. Every campus has something like that, but you're telling me that a win on a Sunday to go to the Final Four shouldn't be celebrated? Good for that Dr. B. He understood. Hey, man, it's a once since 1983 occurrence at North Carolina State. Like, these dudes' dads didn't get the chance. These dudes' grandfathers did get the chance because I would be grandfather age. How about that? Yeah, Dr. B, you go. You are our new favorite professor. You are the man. I would hope every professor would do this. I would. Why wouldn't you? I mean, what the hell? I wouldn't even take attendance on that Monday. I'd be like, hey, if you're here, what have you been doing? I mean, don't be a nerd. If you're here, I got to see aspirin. If you're here, I got to see that you got a little flask and you're taking a little hit to get rid of the hangover. I mean, let's be real here. College kid's going to go college kid on you.